Welcome to Call Me Didi, everyone. I'm your host, Diva.
And I'm your host, Sanchi, and let's get into today's episode. Of course, before we start our episode, we have to do our highlight of the week. Do you want to go first, Diva?
Yes, I'm curious if your highlight is the same as mine. I have a feeling it will be. But we went for a Pratik Kohar concert this week, which was so fun.
It was the best.
And we met Mr. Pratik Kohar himself.
In person.
In person. We said we shook hands with him. And he asked us where we're from. And we told him. And he seems like a really nice, cool guy.
Yeah.
But that's all the conversation we had.
Yes, that's true. That's all the conversation we had with him. But the concert overall was just
great.
Beautiful. He has the most beautiful voice ever.
And his voice is the same as what he sounds on Spotify or like when you listen to it.
Yeah.
And live, it's the same.
Literally.
You can't tell that there's difference.
Yeah, I was blown away. I was like, how can a person be so talented?
Yeah, and he's a one-man show.
Yeah.
The whole thing was just him on his instruments and his voice.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And like we were literally on the first row. So I was in the fucking zone. Like I was literally there just looking at him and I was just lost in the world of music.
Yeah.
I almost cried.
Oh.
Not almost, I actually cried.
Aww.
Aww.
Cute.
Anyways. Yeah,
What
that was my highlight.
As well? I thought as much.
Yeah. But I have one more.
Why do you get two?
Because, do you have another one?
No.
Then,
Go on.
it's very funny. It's today's highlight. The journal that I was doing.
Yes.
Oh my god, today I discovered this old journal. Not old journal. So I bought this journal at the start of the year, but I never did it. And I just found it and I actually wrote in it for the first time and I pasted pictures and all my tickets for Bali and I actually made it for the first time.
It's a travel journal, right?
Kind of. It's like a life experience journal, but I want to make it like with pictures and all the tickets and like scrapbooking basically.
Yeah.
And I did it for the first time and it was beautiful and magical and the experience was so pretty that I actually cried again. Whoa, what is happening? I think I feel very deeply.
Yeah, I think you do.
Anyways.
Because you cried in the other concert as well, right? Anuv Jain?
Not Anuv Jain.
Oh. The one before that.
When Chai Met Toast.
When Chai Met Toast, yeah.
Anshul's music.
Yeah.
So it's just, whenever I feel like I connect with something very deeply and passionately, I just comes out.
That's sweet. You know, okay, weird. Well, not weird, but something I was thinking about is that the older I'm getting, the less I cry.
Really?
Or either life is great. I don't know which one it is. But I still feel sad, but I don't cry as much anymore.
But there's not always, like, it's the crying is not always sad.
Yeah, I
It can be
know.
happy
It can be
tears
happy tears.
It can be like you're just feeling so much that tears come out of your eyes. That's
But
it.
that happens to you way more than it does to me. And I think some people are more like do cry when they feel deeply like you do.
Maybe you're right.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's get into today's episode.
But no, I want to know from our listeners, as you get older, are you experiencing this as well? Or is it just me that you cry less as well?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's for everyone. I'm genuinely intrigued.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, let's get into the episode.
Yes.
What are we talking about?
We're talking about how do you survive a job that you hate, but you can't afford to quit.
It's a very interesting topic. Have you ever felt in this position? Like, have you ever felt like you don't like the job at all?
I have many times in my career. Not even my career. Yes, I have many times. Especially when I was in uni and I was working a lot of hospitality jobs. I have felt this time and time again. I have felt this. I remember there was a job that there was a cafe I used to work at as a barista.
Yeah.
And it was right across my uni. So it was so convenient for me to work there. So I just worked there because it was convenient. And I did that for 2+ years, nearly 3 years. I didn't like that job at all because I wasn't really learning anything or enjoying it necessarily. And not really much of a front of the house customer service person either. So making small talk for me was so hard because you're constantly like saying, "Hi, how are you?" And then you're like, "Arey, but I don't want to know, you know." So I had that job that I just did just purely because it was convenient. And then there was this one job that I did for my career. So I was starting out in my accounting career and I worked for this guy who was a one-man company. He had an IT firm and he needed some help with bookkeeping. That sort of like admin bookkeeping, basically filing his accounts. And I was just trying to get some experience, just anything to start with. So I started there and I just thought, okay, TK, like it's a start, you know, you just need something to start. But he was really bad with his money. Okay, so
That is so interesting because, I mean, it was an accountant.
no, it wasn't an accountant, it was an IT firm.
Oh.
And he just knew how to do the accounting software. I don't know how, he just knew, okay?
What?
I mean, it's not that hard to do it on Myob, like that software. You can debit and credit. He used to speak to his accountant, and his accountant would guide him. Anyway, that's not relevant.
Okay.
But when I used to do that job, so many times I would find that he would tap his card at at strip clubs,
That is crazy.
and I used to be like, how do I deal with this? Like, what do I do? And like so many things like that, and it used to make me really uncomfortable. But I just did, and that job was also like didn't pay me well. Like I had not, I don't think I was even learning anything really. I was just doing it purely because I wanted to start somewhere. Anyway, I did that job as well, which I did not like.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
Yes. Have you dealt with the situation before?
A few times, same as you. My first job ever was really bad. Really bad. I was
Really?
very young. I was like 18 years old and I worked at Domino's, very close to my uni.
Dominoes.
It was Domino's.
Yeah.
And I remember I couldn't survive more than 3 months. But it was just really, really bad culture. The owner would shout at you.
Yeah.
And he was just like very pressurizing. You couldn't swap shifts. You couldn't say that you can't come. And it was like really hard to manage that job. It was just very bad culture.
Yeah, this reminds me, I also worked at a job at a restaurant, an Indian restaurant. That was one of my first jobs ever in my life. And I remember the manager used to shout a lot. You know, you don't even know, like, you don't even know what work culture is supposed to be like when you're so young. You don't know, oh, it gets better. You just know, TK, yeah. Anyway, I got so frustrated with him that I shouted back and I started crying. And I complained to the chef and I was like, he talks to me like this. And then once in the same job, there were 3 owners, okay? I didn't know who the owners are. I was never introduced to them. Anyway, they came and it was a cafe. And the owner came and he said, can I get an almond cappuccino? Apparently, it's just supposed to be understood that he's the owner. But I didn't know. I was like, $5, please. From the owner. And the guy gave me like the worst look ever. And then he took out his $5 from his bank and he kept it. And then from the back, the manager was shouting, that's the boss, that's the boss. I was like, well, I didn't know.
Bro, that is so funny.
Yeah.
Like he gave you the $5.
Yeah, he gave me the money. And he was like, no, you're doing your job well. And I was like, but he had a look and I was like, whatever. I have so many stories to tell. Like, they just keep coming to me. I remember at the cafe that I used to work at, that guy hired a girl, okay? The girl was a full-on druggie, okay? Full-on druggie. She used to live in... Oh my god, I've had the craziest experiences. So this girl, she used to live in a squat house. Do you know what a squat house is?
I have no idea.
A squat house is when you basically... A group of people go live in a house which is not... Like, nobody lives there. So let's imagine an empty house.
Yeah.
And suddenly a lot of people just find it an empty house and they just go squat in it. Basically, like they live in it. And they're not the owners. They don't pay rent.
Very interesting.
Yes. So she used to live in a squat house and she used to talk about sniffing on caffeine powder and whatnot. And I used to just be like, what is happening? And I was just amazed by the kind of people and experience, like the amount of people that have worked there who I've met. And I used to just think like, why am I working here? You know? But it was, I I just dealt with it. I was like, oh no, it's convenient right next to my uni. So yeah.
That is very, very funny.
Yeah.
But I think, you know what? I've realized something about me.
Yeah.
I cannot survive in these environments for a very long time. I think the max time for me is like 3 months.
Really?
Yeah.
3 months in a toxic workplace.
Yeah, and then I leave.
That's good.
Yes. And that's the only way I deal with it.
You just leave.
I just leave.
But then to leave, you need to have some sort of emergency savings, right, in your account.
Yes, actually, yes. A few things I would say. The first thing is if I have some savings in my bank account, I know I can like survive for a few weeks / months. That makes the decision easier. Secondly, okay, I have to just say this. Like, I know that I come from a good family, that if for God's sake something happens, I know that my family is there to support me, and I can ask for help even though I don't, but I can if I want to.
And that being in the back of your mind actually helps you when you when you're making these decisions.
Yeah, it does, because I'm like, even though I know I can survive for 2-3 months with my emergency savings, if I don't find something in that time, like, I know I have my family to fall back on, and I'll figure it out some way or the other.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And I'm the same. I'm the same in the sense that I know that I come from a privileged family, but I don't like asking for money. But I think that in situations like this, when it's really, really toxic for your mental health, and you know that you can ask for money, even though you don't like it, sometimes the better thing to do is just swallow your ego and just lean on your family for a little bit to get over the phase that you're currently in, because if you continue remaining stuck in this phase, it's just going to get worse for you.
Yeah.
So if you have that support to lean on, then it's okay to lean on it a little bit. Maybe you can borrow money and return back, but don't let your ego make the decision for you.
That's actually so true. That happens with me a lot. Like, a lot of the times I would feel like, oh no, I need to, which pushes me to like find something for myself even faster and put more effort into it. But like, there's a limit to it. Like, you need to like ask for help when you need it, and
yeah,
that's something you learn.
And exactly, just ask for help when that's exactly right.
Yeah. So yeah, that. But I also feel like another thing that plays part in me deciding that I want to leave this job is that I know I'll be able to figure something out on my own.
Yeah.
Like, I have that trust in myself.
Yeah.
I know that I have the skills and the capabilities, and that I'm worth so much more, and like, I deserve so much more. And if I go out and I actually put in the effort to find something better for myself, I can get something better for myself.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, and I'm very spontaneous with my decisions. I will just one day decide, that's it, I'm done, I'm leaving. And then I leave. And then I'm like, sorry Dad, I just quit.
That's so different to me though. I mean, now I would be like that. I'm really glad that the places I've worked, at least in the recent years, I've not had any toxic environments around me. So I'm really, really thankful and grateful for that. But when I was younger, especially when I was 18 to 20 and I used to work at that cafe, I just didn't think that there was anything better for me. Like, I just never thought that, oh, I can leave this and do something else. I don't know why. Like, because you're so young and naive, you just don't think that there can be better opportunities. But if I can help one person today who's young and sort of stuck in this sort of place, just do it. Like, you deserve the best.
Yes.
You as a person, no matter where, maybe you have self-confidence issues, maybe you have self-esteem, self-love issues, but you deserve the best for yourself. So just go out and seek that for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't have a limited mindset in that, because if somebody else can have it, then so can you.
Yes, that's so true. That's what I'm like, that's the thing. If you trust yourself and you know that you deserve better, you should like take action to leave that toxicity and go and seek something that's actually worth you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. But also the other thing that's good to have in situations like these is some emergency savings.
Yes, it is so important to have emergency savings. And if you feel like you are in a situation where you literally want to leave a job and you can't because you don't have that savings, maybe plan for it. Like, think about, okay, in the next 2 months, I have to save this much money. These are my needs, and this much I need to save for that and like work towards it instead of eating out, instead of having that coffee or something. Save that money, put it in your emergency funds, have that backing, and then maybe like in a month or two, leave that job. Like, do that for yourself. You deserve it. Your mental health deserves it.
And I agree with that. Maybe if you are in a position where you know you need to leave, but you don't have a family to go back to or support in some way, then you need to think about what can you do where you are right now to put yourself in that best position so you can leave in very soon. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
It should be your priority. And with that, I think we're going to wrap up this episode. Do you have anything to say?
I just want to say again that if you are stuck in a situation, seek support, ask for what you need. I struggle with this a lot. I struggle with asking for help a lot. But I'm telling you that you should. And I have been also trying to ask for help when I need it because we deserve it. Okay? Like you and I, we should ask for things when we need it because if the other person can have it, so can you.
Yes.
And with that, I think that we're all good to conclude this episode as well. We hope you enjoyed it.
Yes, please take a screenshot, put it on your story, share it with your friend. Somebody will benefit from it. So please share it. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.